muted?
How about now? Are we unmuted?
Are we muted, or can you hear us now? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear us now? Are we unmuted or muted?
No sound.
No sound.
I hear you. Wait a minute. I think you're back on.
I hope I'm back
Clean your
with
ears out.
sound.
Clean your ears
Yeah,
out.
look through my ears, see if you
Let
can
me
see
see.
anything.
Only thing I see is the RV door.
Well, we've had a kind of busy week this week. We've been out and about doing things, and um, we want to touch on some of the people. And I know somebody commented in my comments saying that they wish we concentrate on one person, and and that's great, and I would love to be able to do that. However, when you've got 800,000 kids missing, and people right and left, and you got stuff in the news, it's hard for me to just concentrate on one person. I'd rather do 10 of them super bad and get one or two found than I would do one really good and miss out on a lot of the others. So that's where we're at right now. We are going to concentrate on one tonight, but we are going to cover some others. I have checked on the Summer Wells case. Nothing is new there. Dr. Phil is having both of the parents on there on Friday. I understand he's taped it already. He's already had them on there, but it's airing Friday on Dr. Phil. So I know I will be listening to that broadcast. While you were gone, I'll be listening to that broadcast. And hopefully going to tape that broadcast so she can see it later on. I did check on Michael Vaughn in Fruitland, Idaho. Nothing is there on that one either. No new information. And I did check on the West brothers, the boys, and nothing is new on that either. Now, and we talked about this one the other day. This is Katie Cawthorn. She is still missing, but after we did a broadcast with her friend and family, friend and the father, they are having some more active a lot of active police investigation. They got some really things are turning up. So hopefully we had something to do with that. Maybe not, but maybe. So, we want to touch on this. This girl is still missing in Hawaii. I just checked a few minutes ago. Her adopted parents, she was adopted when she was missing. And as far as I know, they're treating this case as an abduction over there in Hawaii. Not many areas, not much places that you can go in Hawaii. I mean, it's an island, and you really can't get off the island. So unfortunately, there's a lot of forest land and where she could disappear. She disappeared at the same time.
I think you said that she was adopted.
That's what she was adopted. Her grandmother said that she stayed with her quite a bit, but she was adopted. That's what I understand.
Yeah, it was something the way you said it.
Well, I didn't. Funny. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. We have adopted kids too, so I mean.
No, I didn't mean it. It's because you said adopted and missing or something. The way you said it was confusing.
Well,
that's sorry. Fine. Go back.
Also, I read in here too that, and they've heard a lot about this today, that some in Florida today, a pair of human smugglers are arrested traveling through Central Florida, and I've got another article on that, or in the same article. Let's see here. The FHP, that's Florida Highway Patrol, said the driver, Juan Carlos, and I can't pronounce that, Cano 25 Honduras, had no license. While he was detained, his two passengers admitted that he was paid $1,500 to take the two immigrants to Florida. The Cano subject was taken to the Hernando County Jail on charges of human smuggling, possessing counterfeit tag, and not having a valid driver's license. The two passengers were handed over to U.S. Border Patrol. Shortly after the first stop, troopers in Sumter County stopped a Mexican man in a Mexican man's van on I-75 of having a legal window tint. And troopers learned that the driver, in this case, Gus Cruz, that's all I'm going to say his last name, 37 of Mexico, did have a valid Washington license. He also had a suspended Florida driver's license. After detaining Cruz, troopers interviewed 4 men and learned that they had undocumented immigrants from Mexico. The passengers admitted paying $200 each to be taken to Florida. Well, they got a great deal, I think.
Yeah, they got a great deal.
As the previous case, they were turned over to Border Patrol and booked in the Sumter County Jail for human smuggling and driving on a suspended license. And if you notice this is something that came up in this article. Notice in the dark blue lettering there, a cruel death, a Florida teen accused of killing family dog with a sword. That is awful. I read a little bit about it. It's truly awful. Need to watch the kid. He could end up turn into, well, there's a lot of people that, I'm not saying this kid in particular because I don't know who he was for what the circumstances were, but that's what you say about serial killers. They kill animals. That's first, they start out killing animals. The pair of arrests comes days after troopers stopped separate human traffickers, human smugglers in Sumter County who were taking immigrants to Tampa. So
they stopping them left and right, aren't
yeah,
they?
well, they're working a drug interdiction down there. They work all up and down Florida. They work a big, gigantic drug interdiction type thing, and while they work in this drug interdiction type thing, they pick up a lot of people for warrants, fugitives, human trafficking, all kinds of stuff. So it's not just that by itself. And I went to several schools on highway interdiction, and the way they say it is, money goes east and money goes west, drugs go east, and that's about the way on I-10, especially they work I-10. These were missing out of Tennessee and Tennessee and Kentucky, where they look for them today. Kids missing, and Jacob Clare, he is got a warrant for interfering with custody. Basically, he is, I think, is a father. They didn't say father. They said a man wanted in Kentucky and Tennessee may have his missing. His may have his missing 3-year-old and 16-year-old. So I guess it is the father, but he's a non-custodial father, and they are looking for him in those 2 states right now. He is in this car here, and I don't have much information on it. They didn't. I think it's a Subaru or Kia possibly, but I couldn't find much information on that for it. I know they did issue. I believe they issued an Amber Alert today on this. Anybody got any questions or anything about the stuff we talked about so far? They should have crossed the border. Crossed at the border, they probably get paid. Yeah, yeah, I saw that too, where they were saying they were some talk about paying each person that crosses the border a couple $100,000. I don't know if that's all of them or that's one of them. I do want to discuss a little something here. We are having a live stream. This is the thumbnail for it. A live stream covering our 6 months full time question and answer, and that is on our other channel, the 1 Million Mile Road Trip. We're having it on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock Central Time. Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central.
You cut us off a
And
little bit there to make us look skinnier, didn't you?
yeah, that was me especially. But this is the channel right there. It's the 1 million mile road trip, and it like I said, we will be on there at 6 o'clock Wednesday night for a question and answer. Talk about our 6 months. Talk about um,
Yeah,
some
Mallory,
of the
it's been
things
6
that
months.
it'll be 6 months actually, the end of this month, but we're close enough that we wanted to go ahead and address some stuff and see what you know just do a live stream. We had planned on doing it outside with a fire and the whole 9 yards, but it's gonna be cold and rainy up here. So
It's what time are you doing it?
6 o'clock,
which will be 5 o'clock Eastern.
5 Eastern.
It's gonna be at
6
6 o'clock.
Central time. 6 Central. So
6 Central.
it'll be yeah 5 o'clock Eastern time, right? Um, tonight, and this is the one that I kind of really wanted to talk about, and I wanted to talk about some more stuff. I wanted to ask y'all: have y'all seen? There's a video out. I just saw the thumbnail of it. Now I haven't had a chance to watch it. It said it had a picture of Dog the Bounty Hunter on the thumbnail, and it said there's a 50-50 chance that Brian Lowry or Laundrie is alive, still alive. Well, I say that they have found DNA inside some of the way I understand it, some of the uh, his remains tested positive. The DNA tested positive for him. So I don't know how they figured it. Like I said, I haven't watched it yet, but they had 128,000 views on the video. So, I would call that, and I don't like to criticize other people, but other channels, but I would call that gigantic clickbait. Um, but I guess I'll fall for the clickbait and watch it tonight also.
Okay. Can I say something?
Yes.
Beach Bum sent us a thing from TikTok about a little girl, a young girl, 16 years old, not a little girl, 16 years old, riding in a car in Kentucky. And when a car passed, she held her hand up like this. And the person that happened to be looking, driving past, knew that sign. That's a sign, an international sign that they've been kidnapped or they're being trafficked. And she was saved. So remember that. If you see somebody do that.
But don't you think, too, there'll be a lot of fakers out there?
Well, if they are, the police will be stopping them and their mamas and daddies can whip their tail.
They can, but I mean, I guess it's good. I just never had seen it before. I never heard of it. I thought it was something else.
Well,
it's just like there's a lot of hand signals that are saying, they say that you make that, that okay sign or whatever like that, or I don't know, something I've seen all my life supposed to mean white supremacy. Okay. Yeah. Okay signs supposed to be
but I never do okay, so.
But I know when you drive by, a lot of times in police work, if you drive by a guy and has a car stopped and you're another officer, they might do 4 like this, meaning everything's okay, or they might just go, hey, we're all right. I mean, it doesn't mean they're saying a white supremacist sign or anything. I think that's kind of crazy myself.
But just remember this: if you see somebody do this, you might want to call the police.
If they do that.
If they do this. They do this. It's thumb in your hand and that.
Like this? Dana, watch. Is it like this?
No, your thumb is covered up.
Oh. That hurts my thumb when I do that because my hand's messed up.
Well, nobody's going to kidnap you, so you don't have to worry about doing that.
Okay. Thank you a lot.
Thanks, Rhonda. I'm glad you enjoyed our quirky art video.
Yeah, that which one was that?
The Black Cat Alley.
Yeah. There's a larger video coming out on that. It's a neat story about that whole situation down there.
Yeah, Beach take it down. It's you. They've got their thumb in their palm, and then they cover their thumb up. That means they're either been kidnapped or they're being trafficked.
Okay, let me just go over there if I can log into that while Dina's talking to you about something, and I'll see if I can copy that where she sent that to me. I remember getting it. I'll have to go over to that other email. Talk to them about something.
Talk to them about
Answer
something.
any questions
Okay,
they have.
so there
Any
was these.
questions at
Okay,
all.
so there was these 3 moles that went for a walk one day.
Dina, you're really, really trying. You're really trying.
A papa mole, a
Dana?
mama mole,
Yeah,
and a baby mole.
and this one time when I went to church,
Sometimes I
and
hold my hand like that. My poor hubby. If I forgot, I can do that now.
well, if it gets out to enough people, I guess if you got.
Tommy's fixing to show y'all on.
Let me download this real quick.
It's just like this. It's the number.
Hold on, just a minute.
And the, I can't see it.
I'm trying.
I can see, even though that's on there.
Do what?
No, I'm not playing a whack-a-mole. It's a
right here it is.
There you go. Look at that.
Thumb trap.
Palm to the camera and trap the thumb.
That's interesting.
There's also another one where the kids have been taught to go, if you're walking by somebody, knock something out of their hand, and when they turn around and look, because you continue to walk, that behind your back you do the sign, the 4.
I just see a lot of people calling the police and running people down, and I can imagine getting out of the car on somebody, making a gunpoint and making them lay down on the ground and all this kind of stuff because they kidnapped somebody. You think they kidnapped somebody? I don't know. It may be. I hope so.
How do you spell ornery? Ornery.
Hundreds of volunteers search for Wisconsin mother of 4 missing September. Reward doubles to $20,000. And I thought I would. This one is fairly new too, and I also wanted to put it up here because we are up here in this area. It's not real close to us, I don't think.
Sorry, I missed that.
Say
it again.
Hold on a minute. From dawn to dusk on Sunday, hundreds of volunteers search party scouring swampy land and rough terrain in Pine County, Minnesota, hoping to find a Wisconsin mother of 4 who has been missing since September. Ashley Miller-Carlson, 33, of Grantsburg, Wisconsin, was last seen on September 23rd, 2021 in Lake Lena. And how would you pronounce that?
The community part of.
I know. Well, how do you pronounce that? As Humong, as Hagamung. I know they got a lot of Indian names up here. I cannot pronounce. I had trouble with it. Community Park of the Millie Lax Band. OGB. Oh, I don't know what. Pine County, Minnesota, according to Pine County Sheriff's Office. Ashley, who is divorced, was reported missing by her family on September 24th when the vehicle she was driving was found east of Hinckley, Minnesota, in Grace Lake. I don't know if they found it in the lake or at Grace Lake, I guess so. No one has seen or heard from her since. Her family is extremely worried. Now, see, if you say Grace Lake may not mean it was in the lake, because I've seen that it may be an area called that. I don't know. This is a picture of her.
Oh, she's so pretty.
And she's got a pretty large tattoo. That is a tattoo on her the right side of her chest, right in here.
So is she? Never mind.
Indian? I don't know. This let me here said she's just gone, vanished, and we have no answers. Ashley's aunt, Carrie Miller, told Dateline, but we know she didn't leave on her own free will. Something's happened. On September 27th, the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension issued a statewide missing person alert for Ashley, who they described as endangered, according to the Pine County Sheriff's Office. The Pine County Sheriff's Office is investigating with the help of the Burnett County Sheriff's Office in Wisconsin. Details of the timeline surrounding Ashley's disappearance has not been released, but the family says that they believe they know who she was last seen with. On Monday, Ashley's family released a statement stating that they acknowledge.
Statement to Dateline stating.
Right, I know that, but I
You
kind of
skipped it. Okay.
I
I'm
skip
sorry.
around. I skip around. Uh, that they acknowledged that Ashley was last seen with her boyfriend she had been dating since the spring. Uh, he was taken into custody on October 1 on a warrant unrelated to Ashley's disappearance, according to the Burnett County Captain of Investigations, Julie Mead, where he is being held on probation violations with the Burnett County Sheriff's Office. Pine County Sheriff's Jeff Nelson told Dateline that he could not comment on whether or not her boyfriend was the last person that's seen with Ashley, and that they would not be releasing any details or timeline leading up to her disappearance at this point in the investigations. No person of interest, and I think that's going to say there have been named. Um,
Lake Superior says, I've been following this case. There is a casino outside Hickley. I question if she had an abusive boyfriend.
Possibility. Disappearance at this point in the investigation. No person of interest. No person of interest have been named in the case. Right now, this important thing is to find Ashley, Sheriff Nelson said. Somebody knows where is, and we just need people to come forward with any information that might help find her. She is a pretty girl. Sheriff Nelson told Dateline that Pine County Sheriff's Office is actively working with the Burnett County and the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension to follow up on any information they've received. They have conducted numerous searches by foot, drone, and a dive team in the lake using all crews and resources available. We need everyone's help in bringing Ashley home, he said. We'll do everything we can until that happens. The family has also set up a private tip line and hired a private investigator, which Sheriff Nelson told Dateline is he's encouraging the public to contact if they don't feel comfortable contacting the law enforcement directly. That's good that the sheriff's cooperating, because
Yeah.
a lot of times sheriffs and law enforcement do not like outside investigators being involved in the case because they can kind of muddy the water.
How old is she?
I'm not 100% sure. Maybe in a few minutes to tell everything about her here. Last week, for information leading to Ashley's whereabouts doubled. It is now $20,000, taking to donations. Thanks to donations from the community. Ashley's heartbroken family says that they haven't given up on the search and are doing everything they can to bring her home and to her family, especially her 4 children, whose ages are from 4 to 11. If Ashley can hear us, we love her, we miss her, we want her back. Carrie told Dateline, we'll never stop looking. And you can see she I can't tell
She's probably in her late 30s.
Yeah, but it's going to tell her, I think, on the
Yeah.
last page here. Carrie described her niece as full of life and a strong spirit who's always there for others. Uh, she's so funny, she can always make you laugh or break out into a song at her moment's notice. Carrie said, "We need that laughter back in our family." Carrie told Deadline that family is touched by the showing of support for Sunday Search, and she added that they are catching their breath today before. Let's see if I didn't cut that off. I probably did, though. You know I am. Um, see, so catching their breath today before regrouping for the family plan to, as a family to plan their next moves in the search for Ashley. Details of upcoming searches and updates on the case are posted to the Ashley Miller-Carlson Missing and Endangered Facebook page by searching the hashtag Bring Ashley Home. Uh, that hashtag is if this was reversed and somebody else in the family would have gone missing, Ashley would be the first one to be out there looking for them. Carrie said she'd say, "Let's go find them." She would not stop for anything until that person is found. We owe her the same. Ashley described 5'9", 217 pounds. She has brown and autumn hair, hazel eyes. Is unknown what she was wearing when she went disappeared. So she's a little hefty, big
No,
boned,
no. She's
big
tall.
bone.
She's tall. She's not going to be, if
Yeah,
she's
but
not going
217 is still pretty hefty for 5'9".
to. Okay. How much are you?
I'm 5'10". I weigh a lot more than that, but still, it's. I mean, even when I was at
Well, she
5'8",
didn't look big
218,
in either picture.
she looked big bone. I would say, you might say. Anyone with information about Ashley's whereabouts is urged to call the Pine County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers. So, I mean, this is, yes, I would think the boyfriend, I'm hoping they ask him to take a polygraph and see what his reaction is. Of course, if he is into the criminal lifestyle, sometimes taking a polygraph, they don't want to do that because they don't trust it. But what is that one?
This is nothing. Keep going.
Uh,
Somebody sent me a message.
but we want to look at this again. This is the hand signal. If that is what they're going through now, that would be something to teach in school. All kids could learn it. I mean, there's no reason why they shouldn't. I know sometimes parents don't want to tell their kids, about all that kind of stuff because they don't want to make them scared. But, um, I think it's just like stranger danger and all that other stuff. You want to be make your kids aware. Don't talk to strangers. But see, this picture does not look like she weighs that to me. That
No.
not at all. This one standing here, nah, it could. She's standing behind. I mean, others standing behind her. I mean, she's not huge, but you know what I mean.
What do you mean?
217. You know what I mean.
No, you don't.
Well, I mean, she's not overly overweight like that. I mean, what I'm talking about, 217 for someone 5'9". I'm just trying to imagine that in a male is still. I weighed when I lost all my weight. I lost down to 218. I was 5'10 and a half, almost 5'11. So I'm still. I felt like I could still lose some to be.
Like Spear
You know.
said, you go to northern Minnesota and you could dispose of a body and it would never be found.
Yeah, well, when we were up in even northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan, I mean, there's tons of places out there, just like there are in northern Alabama, or the big thing with us is in Alabama, the whole western side of Alabama is just about forest and paper mill plants. I mean, it's you really, yeah, not obese, just overweight. I agree with you, Mal. Uh, you don't realize how desolate some of these places in the United States are. I always thought everybody's saying, "Oh, we're overpopulated. We're overpopulated." Well, I can tell you, we took a houseboat down the Alabama River, the Tom Bigby Waterway, and we didn't see anybody for like days on some parts of that river. So, I mean, and it's nothing but woods. And we have traveled out through Mississippi and some of the most desolate places. Mississippi, you can drive for hours, and I never even saw a town. And some of the places out like in Arizona or Texas, the whole western edge of Texas is desert. So I mean, this United States has got a lot of open land, lots of open land. Uh, I wanted to say something once we got through this. I want to talk a little bit about this Dr. Field thing coming up with Summer Wells. But we want to, if Lake Superior, if you follow this case any, uh, then let us know if anything else comes up about this that that we ought to know about, or that comes up that maybe you hear that we don't hear, or it's not in the public eye.
Yeah, we were on here. There's several people talking about, fighting back. I
Right.
taught my children any part of the body that you can bite, kick, scratch, punch. Nothing's off limits. Eyeballs. If you have to get
Yeah,
their eyes
eyes
knocked,
is what we teach. A lot of it is
whatever it
to
takes.
women and stuff is to go for the eyes. It doesn't take much of a punch to the eye to disable you. I mean, you're not gonna. I mean, you're gonna be hurting bad. So it pokes you in the eye. Just think about this: if you walking through the woods behind somebody and they let a branch go and it hits you in the face with an eye, you're out of there. You're out. Um,
There's been something that I don't. There was a man, the Southwest molester in Huntsville. He would tie women to a chair and then make them perform oral sex on him. I don't think I may be tied to that chair, but I think I'd have bit that thing off. I do. I think I'd have bit it off and spit it at him, and then let him lay there and bleed to
well,
death. I
while
mean,
we're
I don't
talking,
know.
let me tell you about an incident we had too. Uh, there was a guy in a large city that I worked at in law enforcement in my early days, where he would come into a convenience store, and he would, back then they kept the cigarettes behind him, and he would say he's always wearing a helmet, like a motorcycle helmet. It's late at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, these 24-hour places. He'd ask for a pack of cigarettes. They'd turn around, and when they turned around, he'd have this
Thing laying on the
yeah
counter.
laying on the counter, and the women scream and holler, and they call the police, and they all got out there. I mean, he'd done this like 20 times at various places. They tried to get him, never could get him. Well, they finally got a call. A woman took matters into her own
That was
hands,
at the you told him when
and
I worked.
they found him laid out in the floor when the police got there and arrested him,
He was passed out still.
passed out of pain. What she did was she had a soup can on the counter. And when she turned around to get cigarettes, when she turned around, he had his laid out there on the counter. She grabbed the soup can out from underneath the counter and just wham on that male portion, and boom, laid out in the on the floor when the police got there.
I was the church. I was the you told him secretary in Huntsville, Alabama at the time that happened. And I had to write up all the reports and send them in. And when I read that, I was just dying.
Yeah, yeah. But there's some crazy things that happen down there. But yeah, you hit as much as you can. You hit somebody anywhere. What?
Read what TS put.
Heard a woman wiring it,
Ringing
it out in this row. Assaulted. Yeah, we don't need to keep talking about this. It's kind of painful even to think about it. But yeah, use any means possible if you're being attacked.
I tell my kids any means possible. My daughter told me the other day that she's going to New York at Christmas, at New Year's. She and her husband are flying up there to see a ball game. I think it's a pro ball game. And she said she was flying up a day early because she wants to go to some places to eat that they won't have time to go to. And she looked at me and she said, Mom, I will be careful. I know not to go out at dark by myself. And I'll call you when I get in the hotel room. And I told Tommy, I said, she doesn't, she knows what to do not to get taken. And he reminded me that all these women think they know what to do. All I can do is pray. Wait a minute. My dad gave my gravesite in family plot at cemetery to his new wife. He told me it's legal. I can put it in the Northwoods.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of things you can do to do that, but it's the same aspect of it. If a girl, if your loved one, your daughter, my wife, anybody were to get raped, I would not blame them for not fighting back if it's to protect her life. And I think that's a lot of ways a man, for whatever reason, can't handle that for whatever reason. We got somebody coming in. But let me go back to the Dr. Phil that's coming up. In the pre things that are coming out about that, because it's already happened. The filming's already happened. The way I understand it's not live, the way I understand it. But supposedly that they got two Dr. Phil has got two profilers, or two guys that look at their body language, look at their experts. I don't know if they're former FBI, whatever, that they can listen to somebody in an interview and they can give their opinion if they're lying or if they feel like they have any guilt, they're hiding anything. And basically, they said that the Summer's mother, Candace, had no emotion when she talked about the missing Summer. In other words, all of the stuff, she had no emotion about it. No, was not upset, and supposedly he did not back off on how he questioned them. So
he never does.
It's going to be very, very interesting for sure. Very interesting. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Because we got out of here. We kind of ended this a little early. Dino said, "Do you have enough for an hour?"
I fuss at him, y'all, but don't do no good.
It's just I get in a hurry sometimes.
Because you won't let anybody else say nothing.
Did I let somebody else talking? That I'm not supposed to say something?
Mm-hmm.
Who? Who?
Beach bum. Have y'all I typed it in there, but since he stopped talking, I can ask you. Have you watched Diary of a Mad Black Woman or The Call? Because both of those movies are fantastic. The call will any teenager, male or female, needs to watch that because they need to know what to do. They need to know what to do in case they're ever kidnapped and what not to do.
Naomi, what are you talking about? It wasn't complete DNA. What are you talking about? Maui, I agree 100%. It's a messed up family. If they wasn't involved, I believe they know about it. Oh, Barry Murphy's hearing. I did not see the last one other than, I listened to the or watched what I could on the preliminary hearing, but did he have another hearing? Well, that's what Gulf Coast Go. That's what Dina tells me all the time. They just give me back.
They'll want to give me back.
Today he had a hearing. Was it broadcast live, or was the did Lauren post on Twitter about it? I'll go back and read it. Was it broadcast live? Did somebody say yes or no? No, but Lauren, I guess, did that. She did as she
Just
did.
tweets, yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it out. What did they rule, or have they ruled about the DNA? I imagine either way, the judge will have to take it under advisement and look it up.
We listened to Don a little bit this afternoon on the call, and he's got a filthy mouth.
Yeah, I saw somebody had got a phone, filmed the phone thing where he had called somebody and laid the phone down and it did not go off, and his mouth is just
If he was my son, I'd have washed his mouth out with soap a long time ago.
Oh, they continued in December. Yeah. Here's the problem with the Barry Morphew case as far as the law. They can continue it, and the longer they continue it out there, the better it is for Barry, because they people forget things, people unfortunately lose evidence. That's what a defense attorney wants to. They want to leave it out there as long and let this thing rock on as long as they can. And especially if their client's not in jail, and like they're out on bond like Barry is, so he can they can just let it go as long as they want to. I'm telling you, that's what they want. But if your client's in jail, a lot of times they don't want that because they don't want to have their clients sit in jail. So they want to hurry up. I want to take advantage of the Sixth Amendment, says you speedy trial. Get it on out there, get on out there. But if the defense does not ask for a speedy trial, and in fact, I know of a case that a real close friend of ours, relative, was charged in, and there's a shooting case, and I'm wondering if the police just don't have the evidence to shouldn't charge them to start with. But it's been going on now 4 or 5 years. They hadn't gone to trial yet. So the longer
the kid was 18 years old.
Yeah, the longer it goes on, the longer it's put off, the more chances for they'll just settle it out of court, or they'll dismiss it, or they'll, whatever. I don't think I don't think they would dismiss it, but I don't like to see something drag on for years. I mean, honestly, this one case was a murder case. The guy was charged with murder, and it was a shooting case, and it's been 4 or 5 years, and it never has gone to trial yet. So the longer it drags on like that, the more chance of it never going to
And the
trial.
kid's out of jail.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same way with Barry. He's out of jail. What would be the advantage for a speedy trial? None. Not for the defense, anyway. So a lot of times they'll do this. They'll have a hearing. They'll say, the trial date is set. When did they set it? I mean, what? Yeah, they always set a temporary trial date. They'll set a trial date. But see, in this particular case with this one that I'm talking about, they never have. If they could set a trial, say they set a trial date for January. Well, something in January, if the defense is trying to put it off, they could come up and say, Judge, we're going to need a little bit more time. We're having, witnesses. It's next May. Right, next May. Well, I would not doubt at all that it doesn't go to the following May, because with COVID still raging on, with everything that's going on, there's no doubt in my mind. The more it's continued, the more it's pushed back, the better off it is for the defense, and that's unfortunate. You're right, Beach Bum. It's costing. I mean, as long as he can afford to pay those lawyers and to continue on, then that's what they'll do. I just don't like. I mean, next May, man, I would have thought it would have been sooner. I was hoping it'd be like in March at the very latest, but I don't know. I tested positive for COVID. She has been in ICU October 23rd. She is sedated, unresponsive. How old is she, Lake Superior? And does she have any other underlying? Yeah, I'm sure Maui, he does want to go to trial, but they offered him a non-charging with murder and just credit time served and all this other stuff.
What?
I know that he would take it, but I don't doubt they would do that. That's awful.
Has anyone seen Julie online anywhere?
Our sergeant,
I
retired Sergeant Melinda.
I sent her a message and told her we were coming on, and I guess she's busy tonight. She's 58 years old and no other health issues.
Wow. No to Julie.
And MH, we've lost some people.
MH, where's MH been?
She was in England, I think it was, but she was headed back to Australia. I mean to South Africa. I don't know.
May just be on holiday, as they say. Melinda, a couple of weeks ago, I talked to Melinda a couple of weeks ago by phone, but we've talked to her, but we haven't seen her online. I think a lot of people got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
They take blood for the COVID test?
I'd rather them take blood and stick it up my nose. Ugh.
Why? I didn't know they had a COVID test that checked it with the blood, because I thought it was something.
Yeah, Beach Bum, it was grease. I'm sorry.
Behind here. I don't want to. I hate giving blood. Hate it.
They can take a gallon out of me. What is your problem, dog? What is your problem?
Maui, they said the whole case file in the Morphew case has been released to the media. The whole file? That's very odd. I've had my case files. I've still got case files when I retired that when I retired, they put them in a box of videos, CDs, case files, and they will never. I mean, because under the law, you don't have to release your work product. You can release, like when you go to get a case report, say you have something stolen out of your car or something. A lot of times they'll release the front page, but they won't release the narrative because that is been that's work product.
Has it been redacted?
May have they? Where would I get a copy of that, or look online for a copy of that?
Lay down, Gracie. Get up here. Get up. Listen, you've got this. You're gonna fall. Say hello. Say hello.
I've got a court. I got a place to the court. I'll try to go over there and see if it's available. If it is, I wouldn't mind getting a copy of that.
Yeah, her last name starts with K.
Yeah, that is odd. Yeah, that's Gracie. Gracie's can be a pain in the where sometimes. She's very demanding.
She's gotten to where she wants to sit up here between us.
Yeah, when we're up here on the couch. Maggie, I want to turn this around and see Maggie real quick. Can they see her?
I don't know. Wait a minute. I'm 30 seconds behind you, or a few seconds behind you. All right. Let's see how far behind I am. Oh, look at that baby.
Anyway, she likes to sit up in that chair.
We went to the Jewish Museum here
yesterday.
Yesterday in
that is Maggie's chair, by the way. That's my driving chair, but Maggie sits in it. And while we're ending this broadcast in a few minutes, I want to tell you this. Today is funny. I had my computer sitting in the chair beside me. Gracie was sitting beside me. Moses was sitting in the chair Maggie's sitting in right now. Maggie was on the floor. She wanted in that chair. Moses would not move. Moses was laying in it, wasn't moving. Maggie starts to crawl up there with Moses on the chair, and I had to get her down. I said no, and I moved the computer so she could sit beside me. But I tell you what, we're ruled by animals, that's for sure.
You are.
Yeah, I am. They are definitely my boss. That's no doubt. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to.
They want to hear a story.
I will tell you this. I've got a video coming out.
I want to hear a story.
Wait just a minute. I've got a video coming out. Let me see if I think it comes out Wednesday. Y'all need to go over and watch it if it does.
What is it?
It's about the skeleton thing we went to the other day.
Ooh. I don't like skeletons and stuff like that. I don't like scary. Well, I say I don't like scary stuff, but I am encouraging you guys to watch The Call. And if you have not seen The Diary of a Mad Black Woman, it is a great movie. And Why Did I Get Married and Why Did I Get Married To are both good movies.
The on the 10th at 6 p.m. on the 10th. Is that tomorrow? That's Wednesday, right?
Yeah, tomorrow.
All right. Y'all go over and watch. Go over to the 1 Million Mile Road Trip. While you're over there, if you would subscribe, that would help our channel immensely. But go over and watch that video that I put out at 6 o'clock. It's the most unusual thing for Halloween I've ever seen, period. It's really, really, I bet this person spent $1,000 putting this thing together. It's very, very unique. but y'all try to go out and see it.
What? Black Widow, you're going to the body farm?
But y'all need to honestly,
three
wait a
months?
minute. You need to go watch that. It's about skeletons, and it's the title is "Do you have skeletons in your closet?" Boo! It's a Halloween thing, so y'all go watch it. Now, the body farm. You're actually going to the body farm in 3 months.
Is that one in Nashville?
No, there's only one true body farm. It's in Tennessee. I think it's somewhere around Knoxville or whatever.
She's doing a law class. Doing a law class for forensics.
That's
Wow,
awesome. Did you know that the body farm, of course, we all know it's a place that the police, law enforcement, FBI, everything go to learn about the different stages of how a body decays when they're dead. And the bodies are just basically laid out on the surface, or some buried partially, and a whole bunch of other ways. Did you know that the people that actually run that farm for the thing are all women? Did you know that? They're all women that manage the farm and take care of all the bodies out there and work in various stages of their own research and forensics. For sure, they're all women. So anyway, at least they were as of about 6 months ago when I was doing a lot of research on it.
Are you deciding whether to have your body donated to science?
Don't donate my body to science. I know my uncle did, but
I told y'all what I'm gonna do with him. He wants to be cremated, and I told him he wants his ashes spread over the Grand Tetons, and I told him that I'm gonna put him in a salt shaker and I'm gonna shake him out everywhere I go that I think he might enjoy seeing.
That ain't right, folks. That ain't even right. She said she saw your turnip green soup and cornbread. Yeah.
Where do they get the bodies from? They're donated, right?
Yeah, they're actually donated.
Or if it's somebody that's a John Doe.
No, they don't. They have to be donated. They're actually donated.
She said, indeed, I went from working on dead bodies to forensics.
So you were a mortician? Or a mortician's helper, or medical field or something? See, I worked in law enforcement, as all of y'all know, 33 years in law enforcement. I've worked homicide. I've worked all kinds of stuff. Most of my thing was in narcotics. But over my time, I actually, in training a helper, okay. Over my time, I saw a lot of people that were deceased in various stages, from suicide to mostly accidents, car accidents, and unattended deaths that you get a call, check a neighbor smells something bad smell coming from a house, or haven't seen somebody in 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. Then we would go out there. But
she's snoring with her eyes open.
Yeah.
God.
But working death investigation was not my favorite thing to do. I enjoyed work in narcotics, where I'd figure out, like, we could find the guy. We knew who the guys were. We just had to figure out a way to put them in jail.
Can you describe the smell of a dead body?
It's like I said before. It's a smell you would never forget. That's like all pot. I can say. It's.
I mean, but you never forget the smell of pot. That's
right,
what I'm saying.
But it's a smell you'll never forget.
When that police officer lit that joint in my classroom when I was in 6th grade, he lit that joint. He told us if we smelt that smell, get the heck out of there. I'll never forget that smell.
Yeah, me neither. Angela, you can't describe it. It's, but once you smelled it, you'll never forget. Let's see, it's got a different smell than a dead animal. You can tell the difference.
You can watch the live stream. Edmund Fitzgerald.
The Edmund Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Yeah,
Lakesford.
that was my thing. I wanted to go see the museum that had the.
Does it smell like a dead animal?
No, it does not smell like a dead animal. To me, it didn't smell like a dead animal. But it had a lot of the Edmund Fitzgerald's stuff in it. Now I have a video. Now I don't know if that video's been out or not. I'll tell you, I've had so many of them. I think I've already published. I think we've already. Yeah, that video's already been out where I said about the Edmund Fitzgerald, and it's a that whole museum up there it's unbelievable.
I don't even want to hear it. Nope. Okay, what did she say? It's a smell like you'll never get used to, thanks to my teacher taking us to a real crime scene. I can tell if a dead body of a human or from an animal. I'd rather smell dead animals like roadkill.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. But we've also opened doors on the house and immediately could tell what's going on.
I opened the door on a house in Mississippi and went in that we were supposed to clean out, and I had to go out. I was gagging so bad. It had 8 dogs had been left in there for 3 weeks with food and water enough to feed them, and they used the bathroom. Ugh, it was.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Look, what she said there, talking about that guy Travis. Travis Satanic Ritual concert.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't. How do y'all know it's Satanic Ritual? Because I didn't look at it. I don't have.
They said that there is no doubt it's satanic.
Well, he's probably going to be about $100-200 million in poorer time it's all over with, because some of the stuff I saw on a video on it where they were just he was encouraging them to rush the stage. He was encouraged the crowd to beat somebody up because they tried to take his shoe. A whole lot of stuff was happening, which I think that he
all of a sudden my phone started showing this Lord give them peace. Yeah, there was another thing where somebody had passed out and they had picked him up and the crowd was passing him back to get him out of the area. And they said that the singer was from the stage going dead, 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 dead. They said it was weird.
Yeah. And I don't know if the crowd is unbelievable. Yeah, that whole concert is where they had 8 people dead.
One of them's a young boy, not dead.
Yeah, but one of the young boy is a black young boy that's in a coma from it. His dad took him. I don't understand that, but he was a little kid too.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, we're gonna run, and we'll see you back here Thursday, and maybe we'll have something positive to say on some of these cases. And we hope to see y'all on Thursday
and Wednesday
and
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, yeah, come over and watch us on our live stream.
Beach Bum, no, Gulf Coast said pray for AK. He's been stung by multiple bees.
Oh man,
he's having a hard time.
Yeah, he has. What kind of bees got him? Do you know? I saw his live stream the other night, but that's awful. Right after Hurricane Ivan, I was moving down on a side road trying to get down to the beach, and the guy was clearing wood for the road to be cleared, and he came up to me, and all of his hands were just knotted up, looked like he got eat up by about 100 ants, fire ants. It was weird. He said, "Do you think I need to go to the doctor?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "How about let me call the paramedics?" But he wouldn't let me do it. All right. Well, we will see y'all. Hopefully, some of you come over tomorrow at 6 o'clock to the 1 million mile road trip, and I would really appreciate it if y'all would um, subscribe to that channel. We actually lost 2 subscribers this week, and I know I should not be worrying about 2 subscribers, but when you're under 1,000, you worry about everybody.
Y'all, you talk too much. I forgot. I was gonna say something. Oh, I remembered, it came back around. Y'all, don't forget to keep sending us the information about the missing
In your
in your
area.
area. Beach Bum, thank you so much for the sign. That is awesome, and I think a lot of people learned that tonight. So it's something to be watching for. I'm pretty sure if you saw somebody do it and you kind of gave them a second look, if it was really, they would do it again.
All righty. We hope to see y'all tomorrow at 6 o'clock on the 1 million mile road trip for our live stream. And if you could share that channel and share this and that channel, we would super appreciate it. And hope to see you tomorrow night. And if not, we'll see you Thursday. Y'all take care.
Bye, y'all.